Howdy everyone. Welcome to my channel, Vintage Muse by Barb. I'm Barb, and today I'm going to share some tags that I've made for Christmas. I'd like to show you the tags, talk about my process, and then I'd like to share an idea with you that I'm going to do, I think, with my family this Christmas. I hope that you'll enjoy them. They will be available on my Etsy shop later today, and I hope that you might come and take a look at those and everything else. They will have free shipping included, which is a bonus. I just added some free shipping to other items that are listed in my shop as well. So go over and take a peek if you have a chance. There will be a link down below. So I started these tags just with a die cut from my Sizzix Big Shot machine and some manila file folders. And on the back side, you can see I've just grubbied and aged it a little bit. I like it kind of blotchy and old looking so that it just doesn't have that shiny new file folder look to it. Okay? What I've done is I've layered, I believe, 9 or 10 different things on here to make the tags. And I started off, of course, with the manila file folder, and then I added some 1890s sheet music that you can see as my very back layer, my background on that. On top of that, I put half of a lace doily that I coffee dyed lightly, and I grubbied up a little bit, and I also stamped with the Tim Holtz script stamp. I think you can probably see that. Some of these it shows up, and some of them the Santa's a little bit wider and covers it, but it's there because I don't like to just leave stuff kind of blank and funky. Once I had done that, I glued on some lace. This is kind of semi-vintage. It's not new and it's not super old, but it's just, hopefully you can see that. It's just a strip of the lace that I coffee dyed, and then I grubbied it a little bit more. I'm trying to just build up depth and color as I'm layering all these different things. So once I added the lace strip there, I sewed around this all messy style, and you can see there's two layers of, or two side-by-side rows of stitching around that. Okay, and I knew going in, my whole goal was to use these Santas. These are authentic German die cuts. They are not old, they're new. Reproduction would be inaccurate because they've been making them consistently since the 1800s, and they're made from the old dies and the old way, but they are not vintage, they're new. So I just love these. I've got 8 different designs, and that's why we have 8 tags. So I knew I wanted to use those. And then behind him, when I first put him on, he was kind of, I don't know, just kind of bland, and I didn't like the way it looked. I wanted something to ground him a little bit better. So I chose to use a die-cut piece of cardstock in a rectangle. Okay, and I used the edges of my tag. I'll talk more about this process, and I do want to make a tutorial because I try to do things now in patterns so that I can do multiple colors, multiple types, but all the same general pattern, and it hopefully will speed up my process so that it doesn't take me 3 days to make 8 tags. Okay, so meanwhile, back at the ranch, I've used this craft paper to ground Santa, and I have that behind him. On the front of that, of course, I've glued the Santa along the edge, and I kind of have my framework with the music paper and the doily and the lace, and now the brown craft paper there with Santa. So I know where everything goes based upon the dimensions and where it's going to fit on this. And you will see that when I do the tutorial for this style of a tag. On the front of that, then, I was left with kind of a bald blank space next to Santa. And I remember that I had some poinsettias that I had fussy cut, and I don't recall who they're from. I will link that below. I love those. I resized them, so I've got 3 different sizes, and they're perfect for a little corner. Behind that, I just put in some cheesecloth. So I've got the cardstock, the cheesecloth, and a fussy cut poinsettia. And then my very favorite part, since they're Santas, of course, is I used a Tim Holtz stamp, and this is from the Tattered Christmas set, and it says naughty or nice. Really, really like those. Last but not least, I inked around the edges, front and back. I added the paper reinforcers, and I finished it off with a wonderful, not Christmas green, but a really vintagey green style sari silk ribbon. I'm going to turn this sideways. And I just went all up and down, top to bottom on that. That kind of finishes it up and gives it a little bit of physical dimension to go along with all the layered dimension that I've added. And then I have just a short tag tie made from the same sari silk ribbon. Okay, so there's kind of my tag, my process, and I wanted to talk about the back of this. I think this would be the cutest thing ever, ever to put on somebody's gift. Great to add on a gift bag or whatever. They can use it as an ornament year after year. They're actually, you know, unless you're going to step on them or run them over with your car, they're fairly sturdy and will be packaged away. Certainly no more fragile than a glass ball ornament, and there's a lot of those that are still hanging out. I have some from back in the day when I was a child. I thought it'd be really cute to put the person's name just along the bottom there. And then you could either add a picture of them, maybe when they were a child, you know, just a little small picture. And then let them on the day when you're opening presents, take this off of their package and then write down the things that are memorable to them. So you could actually do this for each person in your family or your gathering. You could do it, you know, if you have like a cookie exchange or something, that would be kind of fun. And then you could go back year after year. You could do a different one of them every year. You could go back and you could look at the back of that, and all that person's memories from that particular day would make for a great conversation starter for the next year. So here we go. I will have 8 different styles. They go 2 different directions. They will be sold randomly by the each. There is going to be free shipping in my Etsy shop for those. And that would be, of course, for U.S. They won't be very expensive if we have to ship overseas. Not a problem on that. Just send me a conversation. And I thank you again for watching me. I hope that you've enjoyed this. If you'd like to see the complete process when I go through the tutorial and actually make these kinds of tags, please do subscribe. I hope that you've enjoyed what I've done. I hope it's a little bit the same but different. And I hope that you like it as well and will give me a thumbs up for my efforts. Thank you so much. Have a wonderful day, and I will be back.